Good morning, welcome back to the Morning Mix right here on Informante Radio. It is Namka Pandu featuring Hashtenda with Waturuamo. Good morning, Maria.
Morning.
How is we?
Good. I'm sorry, I'm still reflecting on that song, Waturuamo.
Let's just move on swiftly. Yeah.
Waturuamo.
We did not make the song. We just
You know what that means, right?
You told me a few months ago what it means.
Yeah.
So, I tried to ask that question a few times at Pharaoh's, and I got smacked.
Hey. Don't come here with those things. All right, guys. Tuesday. I almost said Wednesday. Tuesday, November 26th, just a day before Namibia goes to the polls. Just one day. There's a lot that has been happening. I think let's start the show this morning with an update from yesterday morning. There was a court ruling that we're waiting for. Maria?
Yeah. We know that the tribunal made a ruling yesterday, and obviously that is that the election's going to go forward, that they don't have jurisdiction to make a decision on the matter that was brought before them. So, yeah, we're going to the polls tomorrow.
So it is official, we're going to vote tomorrow, and we are voting with the electronic
Yes.
voting machines.
Based on the electoral court's ruling, yesterday.
Okay.
Now, Maria, why were you people from SWAPO celebrating yesterday? Everybody else were not celebrating. I saw you jumping in the air. Yay! Good case! We won!
That was a
what
bit
do you
strange.
mean?
Yeah, that was a bit. I know a lot of people came under fire because a lot of openly SWAPO supporters and sympathizers, when they say we won, and we're like, what do you mean?
What did you win?
What did you win? You know? And obviously there were jokes around it where somebody said, if this thing didn't go, if this thing was rejected, the guy that's been pressing the Hage's face repeatedly would have been mad. Anyway, net grap, maar. So it was weird that people were celebrating. Maybe it's very telling. I don't.
Because they say the SWAPO supporters were the only ones celebrating the court ruling yesterday.
That's assuming
Why?
That's assuming that. Sorry, this is leaking.
Yeah, no, it's leaking.
Sorry, let me just sort this out.
Okay.
Lost it.
No, I need to go get it replaced. I paid for it.
But we are on air.
Okay.
It's fine. Get another one. This one is leaking.
But you must always stand up all the time, and you want to stop me.
You are busy discussing something.
All right.
It's
Anyway, guys, we're so unprofessional.
I'm just looking, I'm like...
She wants to get up here.
I just wanted to give it today.
You are in the middle of
Anyway.
discussing something.
Okay, this is a fight about coffee, guys.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win Coffeegate?
Prat Maria. Prat Jay.
Can I just give an instruction? Just talk. Please take over.
Never lost the coffee. Lost Maria's coffee. What is your story with the coffee? I know. All right, guys. So tomorrow is election day. I hope all of you guys are ready. It is a public holiday. I heard some people asking us a bit earlier on. Yesterday in the afternoon. Cabistro, Baba. Yesterday in the afternoon, so I had lost my voter's card. And I went to the ECN. I went to the ECN to go get a duplicate. Guys, the process took me like maybe 10 minutes. I was so pleasantly surprised. I'm still there. I even brought like a little pamphlet that I wanted to read through while I'm sitting there. Like I'm not even past page 1, and that lady comes, like, oh yeah, that's me.
More than now.
And I was in and out. So if you are for any reason missing your voter's card or it's gotten destroyed, just go to the ECN. They will sort you out with a duplicate because you need to go vote. Today is the last day.
Okay, but you can't go register to vote.
No, not registration. No.
Asseblief.
Jy moet klaar geregistreerd wees. I wonder though if you have lost, let's say between last time and now, if you have lost your, not the new voter's card, the older one.
As long as your name is in the system.
Yeah,
As long as your name is in the system, you can't be a new registered voter.
You can't go register now.
You can't go register now, but if your name is in the system and if you are a registered voter, it should be, then it's really just getting a duplicate.
Yes, and please make sure you have your declaration from the police. You go say under oath that you lost your card. And then you take that to the ECN.
I wonder how many people will be going to get cards today, duplicates, because I know some people are saying they're going to hide their parents' cards.
But during the day it was quite full in there. Luckily they were open until 10 in the evening last night, just to accommodate everybody. I went just shortly after 5, and like I said, the process was pretty fast. So don't just sit back and it's like, okay, so my card is lost, I'm not voting, please.
I'm probably going to be driving around tomorrow to find the shortest queues because I can't do queues, guys.
Now, Maria, Cubis, these idle threats that the youngsters are throwing at us, that they're going to be hiding our voters' cards. What do they mean by this? Is there a particular party that they don't want us to vote for? That's the first question. And the second question is, where is the cut-off age where these voters' cards are being hide away? I'm 48 years old, so will my children also now hide away my voters' card?
I think they're looking at people that will potentially not be here in the next 10 years. Because ultimately, I mean, it's illegal. Let's just be clear.
Yes, of course.
Before we continue this discussion, I just need to make it clear that hiding somebody's voter's card is illegal. Okay, but in any event, the arguments I've seen is that especially the elderly, obviously we know they are very loyal to a certain party, and the likelihood of them being here in the next 10 years is very low because they are elderly. And I think for the youth, especially the frustrated youth, they just feel like it's not fair that these are the people that are going to vote on their future when they will not be here in the next 10 years to like suffer really the repercussions of the decisions that they make for the rest of us. So that's been the thing, you know, and we know the elderly. As
cult mentality.
I mean, my mother is 71. She's 71 years old now. So, God willing, she will still be here 10 years from now. And I do have a difference of opinion with her when it comes to who to vote for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it is what it is. She believes this way, I believe that way. There's nothing, and I spoke to her over the weekend again, and I saw some other party flags there in her house when I got there. I say, hey, Sally, what's a flag? Who does it? It's me, so.
I tried to have this conversation as well.
She distinctly told me, "Gaan daar be jealous of Ambus." So
it's not the ruling. That's nice. I tried to have this party. I mean, this conversation with my mom. I mean, for us, it's no secret. Like my family is being Swapo, and these people at the canteen are so embarrassing. I'm so sorry. They could have just given anyway. They just literally put it in It's
in
still
another cup.
spilling. It's still
No,
spilling. They just put it in another
Spill in the
cup.
other cup.
Oh my gosh. I'll take it up. Anyway, I tried to have this conversation with my mom. I was like, okay, so who's your candidate? My mother's like, listen, rather the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I mean, we all know what that means, right? And then I said, okay, but mom, like I think, like let's try and strategize. We need to take away this 2/3 majority. Yeah, they can still get a lot of seats, but like the 2/3 gotta go. It's how you really create a democracy. My mother's like, I'm voting Swapo. There's no question there. Like for her, it's that betrayal. Like you cannot vote. It's
Voting
a betrayal
was-
to
yes.
her existence. You need to remember that even her funding, her education was funded by Swapo.
They lost Manet.
Yeah, so
Lost.
there's just no way. There is no way my mother will vote for another party. Just no way. And a lot of people are like that.
I know.
So people like that is like, maybe the only way is to take away their voting cards. It's illegal, but I'm just saying.
My mom is probably going to go look for DTA, and if she doesn't see it, they just walk out. Nonsense, all these ones.
They can't even know.
They never know PDM. What is a PDM?
My wife was asking me, honey, who are we gonna vote for?
Why are you guys all voting for the same party? Don't you have differences in opinion?
Hey, gaan bejo is ek sabi me is play.
That's how we ended up in the problem that we're in.
My wife asked me, who are we gonna vote for?
Like you're going in the boat together.
No. We shall vote. The whole house shall vote in one voice. Klaar.
As die mense wat screenshots gaan vat en jy moet gaan wys by die huis. I want proof. Don't just come tell me you voted for who come show me.
But then again, I have to be honest with you. Jokes aside, my two sons, they think like the youth. I'm not saying who but they.
Yeah, no, it's kind of Sutula. It's all right. There's nothing. Look,
I had an interesting conversation about Itula yesterday. I was no, actually, we'll have it off air. I was telling Neville about it.
I want to know. No, now you can't throw like a little stone like this and not.
No, you're throwing
Show
the
your
candidate
face.
under the bus.
Oh.
No.
So yeah.
We're gonna do it off air.
Yeah, we can have that one off.
Yeah.
Look, for me personally, right, I don't care who you're going to vote for. As long as you vote, don't just vote because Neville says he's voting for Itula, so you're also going to run after Itula. Have you actually read Itula's manifesto? Have you read Swart Boy's manifesto? Have you read the Swapo manifesto? Why are you voting for who you are voting for? Ask yourself that question. Because this is a decision that is going to affect you for the next 5 years. Directly or indirectly, it is going to affect you, whoever is sitting in that office.
I always say, I've said this manifesto thing again. Yeah, you reading manifestos, but then I realize, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, is a manifesto even that important? Because a lot of things that are said in manifestos don't materialize.
True.
We've seen it with the ruling party. So,
But isn't that why we are trying to hold them accountable now?
no, well, a lot of it is blind loyalty. Nobody goes back and accounts and says, well, you said this, but you didn't do that. You know?
Yeah.
We should.
Yes.
Yes, we should.
Yes.
But I'm saying, even now, to say, I think it's easy to come up with beautiful policies. Especially when you're not tried and tested. Especially when we don't know. Like, can you deliver or not? I think obviously SOPO is, I think in this case, like probably in a different position because they can be held accountable.
Yeah.
Like, well, you've been in power, what have you.
Yeah.
The others can just like make all this rhetorics. We're going to give you free land. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you this. Do you really have the means and capabilities to deliver?
But
we
that
don't
is
know.
the problem. We don't ask those questions.
Yeah.
For instance, between my wife and I yesterday, we were also having this politics discussion after I came from the ECN. So she's like, no, but then, for instance, Dr. Itula is talking about 12 ministries, right? I'm like, and so she's irritated because she feels, yeah, but like he must explain. I'm like, did anybody, when he mentioned that, did anybody follow up with that question. It's like when you say 12 ministries, which 12 ministries? Who are you going to merge with who? What is, like, so people just take it in. No, I'm going to give you this. Okay. Now I'm going to give you free land. Okay, we don't ask follow-up questions. Like Mary, like you were saying, because of that blind loyalty.
I think there has been, can I read some of the comparisons, for example, on some of the issues?
Yes.
From their manifestos. Okay, like on social welfare, right? I'll just give like 4 of the leaders, which are the big ones, which is Itula, the president, Hage Geingob, Vernani, and Bernardo Swartboy. Okay. On social welfare, Itula says free access to health, equitable pension, care for those incapacitated. I don't even know why he's using big words like that, because now we gotta go Google. Incapacitated. Okay. Who?
Incapacitated.
No, not even.
Let me see the word. Yeah.
All right.
Incapacitated.
All right. Equitable pension, care for those incapacitated.
Incapacitated. You can't move.
Yeah, that's, I understand what it is, but it's not how it's spelled. By age or illness or unsupported youth. All right. And then Hage says accelerated registration of disabled person or orphans and other vulnerable children, elderly, national register, increase funding for disabled and marginalized communities. So marginalized community, the elderly and disabled persons, I guess, are getting preference. And then Swartboy says, develop informal settlements and create shacks for bricks program, increase pension to 3,000 per month. And Vernani says, one family, one toilet, increase in pension to 2,000 per month, identify all in need persons through a web-based registration system, higher tax relief for those caring for disabled. Okay. That's on social welfare. On SMEs, Itula says specific regulations to protect unskilled delivery for Namibian citizens only. Example, Kapana hairstylists, nail technicians, taxi drivers, producers of traditional products, etc. Hage says continue implementation of the SME financing strategy and develop strategies to increase access to finance for SMEs, especially for women and youth. And then Swartboy says tax incentives for SMEs and make fiscal policy more adaptive to respond to SME growth, protect certain industries, and pursue funding from developmental financing institution, private equity, venture capitalism, whatever. And then Vanani says capacity building of SMEs to create stronger job growth, shrink unemployment from 28 to 11%. So I can go on, but I'm just saying, as we're reading this, we even really understand what they're saying.
Okay, look, certain. It depends on how versed you are in social issues and what is actually happening around us in the country.
I wanted to go on land reform because this is quite important.
Yes, that's a big one.
Yeah. Itula says all citizens above age 21 will qualify for a $1,000 plot of land. We've heard him say that. Hage says steadily upgrade informal settlements, accelerate land delivery, and realization of NHE project. And then it says enact the enactment of the land bill and accelerate implementation of the resolutions from Second National Land Conference. Swartboy says land redistribution to correct past unfair land distribution with focus on empowering women. Land expropriation with just compensation. Reduce high land pricing by banning exorbitant housing prices. And Vanani says, one family, one house, a massive low-cost housing project to ensure every family will have a house of its own through a subsidy for first-time buyers. Every informal settlement dweller over age 21 will qualify for a small free plot. So very different opinions on how to tackle the land issue, like the land reform. It seems Hage, we've said, he said already that he wants to upgrade the informal settlement, and then he talks about the energy project, and the land bill and accelerating implementation of the resolutions from the second land conference. I don't know what even that means, because what was discussed and decided at the second land conference?
That's why I'm saying it's important to engage with the leaders, for lack of a better word. Because, I mean, some of these questions only they can answer. I mean, I can put out a statement and for instance, free land or free plots or $1,000 plots.
Yeah.
But how?
Yeah.
Like how? How are you going to do it?
Yeah.
Because like, there's no point in it. Yes, it sounds like a great idea, but if it's going to destabilize the economy even further, then maybe it's not such a good idea. But that's what I'm saying. Because we just take it as it comes,
Yeah.
and then you start running with that.
Yeah.
And you start evangelizing that message, spreading
Yeah.
it. But you don't
But
even know
have
the details.
I need to do just a last one, education, because that's another big
Yes.
thing. I won't go into health, but I'll go into education. Itula says, multifaceted approach to basic education to cater for different learning styles and early specialized skills development, non-discriminatory funding for eligible students to tertiary institutions. Hage says, continue to build new schools, especially in rural areas, and establish more schools of excellence. Pursue implementation of the higher funding education framework for tertiary institutions. Swart Boy says, build additional schools and hostels, introduce one book per learner and free Wi-Fi, re-equip vocational training centers, reasonable funding for higher education. And Vanani says, all learners to receive solar laptops, lower teacher-student ratio in basic education through double school intake. Free tertiary education is key faculties. Okay, education in key faculties such as engineering and science. I don't really know what any of them are saying.
All these things, great ideas that take Chele. We don't even have money to save our airline or our national broadcaster at the moment. How are we gonna how are you gonna do all these great things?
And you know the other thing, I was discussing it yesterday on social media for whatever reason. I'm glad that I spoke about education. I can talk about this. For me, and I've said it, and I've written it in my editorial before, and I still stand by it. And I said, until politicians start using state facilities and services that the masses do, we will never see change. That means, for as long as they're going to private hospitals for their treatment instead of state hospitals, for as long as they are able to send their kids to private schools instead of in state schools, for as long as they don't have to queue at ministries to get services, because you have a PA, right? Even if you want your official passport, you just send your PA to go do around. For as long as you can travel with motorcade and fly to areas, you will never really understand or really care about the situation on the ground, because you're not exposed to it in your day-to-day. You need to be exposed to some of these things on your day-to-day for you to affect change. If, for example, politicians were compelled to use state hospitals, I promise you Katutura State Hospital wouldn't be in the state it's in today. Because it takes going there and seeing the situation there and being bothered by the situation there to then go and lobby for funding, to go make sure that the services improve, because that's where you're going to go if you're sick, because you don't have the luxury of going to like private facilities. But it's never lost on me that there's not a single cabinet minister, not a single one, that uses state health facilities. Not a single one. What does it tell you? So you're just saying it's only good for the rest of us.
For Jella. Two people.
Yeah.
Two people can choose those things.
And this, I hope that this is a discussion, whoever comes in power or whoever continues power, that is something they seriously need to look at, because that, for me, is always going to be a bone of contention. In fact, it's like an itchy wound.
Our health system. Michelle Kuhlman, morning, guys. Don't you have numbers in the studio so that we call in and take in the discussion rather than Q-based reading comments?
Yeah, we should, but I think the only problem with that is with the live streaming, you can't hear the calls, but we do need to. I always felt like we should.
We can't hear the calls?
We can.
We can.
No, we can't.
We can. Remember, we called the winners.
Gaza, The dog.
No. You could hear Gaza responding. You couldn't hear what the other person was saying.
No, you could.
You can.
Not on the live stream. We can because we have our earphones.
We can.
No. Guys.
Maria, when Gaza was in the studio, when Sunny Boy was in the studio, people were calling in and we could hear them speaking to each other.
Not on the live stream because when I went to go check it, I couldn't hear what the caller was saying. Not on the video, not on the stream.
Okay, we.
You mean?
Yeah, I'm saying not on the stream.
Are you so you're talking about the people watching?
Yes, watching.
Abba.
Okay, I didn't go back to go check,
Yeah,
so
I
I
always
can't
check
really
and you
confirm
can't-
and deny. yeah.
Here in studio we can hear, and obviously on radio they can hear.
Yeah.
But people that are watching
The
cannot
live stream.
hear, that are watching the live stream cannot hear what the caller on the other end is saying.
Okay, we will probably
Yeah,
have
we'll
to
have
try
to
and
look at
see
that,
how
yeah.
we can rectify that.
It's
Yeah.
probably this button.
So you know what the problem is. Korwaji.
Oh man, okay, come back, lees my comments. Unfortunately, we're going to read comments this morning. Anyway, morning crew, just like I'm first to comment, I am first to cast my vote tomorrow. My vote is not a secret. If you want change, why not vote for the next best alternative for change?
Who is?
Hashtag Viva Itula, it says.
Alright.
Okay.
Xylem Shinedi, it's Andrew in court. We gave you the day off so you can go to court, and now you are watching the live stream.
Okay, what
From
does he
where?
say?
No,
No, he's just watching.
He's just watching.
He's waiting.
Watuluamo, explain to Neville, guys.
I know what it means.
Okay, maybe you were told lies. What were you told?
As je ingesit.
But like in the grand scheme of things, what does it mean?
Are you captured?
Did your morals follow the trailer?
Yo. Johan van Wyk vra, is Saki en James al terug?
According to the... so I don't know if anybody's seen it or if anybody has read our article that we published. Their lawyers, just to update on that, their lawyers sent, I think they're called Apollo's lawyers or whatever. They sent a letter to the ACC just seeking clarity on whether there were arrests, warrants of arrest, because they said that they were going to arrive today. And I think they just wanted to know what to expect. And but when we called the ACC, the spokesperson said they had not been issued yet. They were still waiting. So I guess they can arrive in the country without arrest warrants hanging over their heads. But the interesting thing in that lawyer's letter, they was like, if there are any arrest warrants, please let us know so that we can bring our clients, we can summon our clients to come and make an appearance. So they're basically trying to avoid the handcuffs and the jail time. So they literally just want to hand themselves in and go to court and deal with the matter there to avoid jail time.
Bradley Kubisep, the way my Ozali is just talking about Hage. To the point she's asking, wil jy ook ons pension wegvat? Ek gaan stem vir Swapo. I told her, Oma, see you at the polls. Oh man, Johan van Wyk, I would have given anything to be with them on that flight with Saki and James trying to make eye contact, and when our eyes locked, I would say, have a cocoa. While making
Have a cocoa.
haya cocoa again.
Yeah, Coco.
Yeah.
While making the hand gesture like
It's like, Coco.
yeah. Clifford Orlam. Wow. Okay. Sal die Kalahari oral wees, want ek sien Hoesland die UPM en PDM en IPMers en wie se emmers.
I don't think people are going to fight at the polls. And just and just to add, sorry, the Inspector General did say that they're deploying the police at all the polling stations to maintain peace and order. And on top of that, the Kalahari will be at the residential areas, making sure that while you guys leave your homes to go and vote, that the thieves are not trying to see opportunity.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maria, relax. Don't go have the cafe people fired us, I believe.
Yes. I'm actually a very sweet person. Sorry, I'm not confrontational.
Catherine Fra, where is the ECN? Please directions. By the you know there's the ignorance in this. Yesterday, bruh, like I almost forgot. I get into the cab. That like when I came from the dentist, I get into the cab. I'm like ECN. It's like okay, nah. I'm on my phone. You know where this guy goes to go drop me?
Where?
Council of Churches Namibia.
Oh, CCN.
Nkatutura, me bror.
CCN.
So tell the where is EC and tell the person.
Jose Akutako. You know Jose Akutako?
I know where it is. I'm saying tell the person.
No.
It's very difficult for me to explain where ECN
Okay,
is.
it's opposite the new Home Affairs building, the one that is still under construction.
Yes.
You can't miss that.
Yeah.
It's a big landmark in the area. There's no other building that is that tall. So ECN is just across the road from them. You will see all the Namibia Boats 2019 and all the shenanigans. If you are still struggling, don't ask your taxi driver. Apparently, you are supposed to say Electoral Commission, not ECN. We don't know what this is yet. Nico Kayamo, morning and all the best as you guys go exercise your rights to vote tomorrow. But Neville must stay in his own lane because we were celebrating the 2017 Congress challenge case that was dismissed yesterday in the High Court. He can join the victory celebrations this weekend as my guest.
Oh yes, there were two cases. That's
Nico.
true. But Nico is not being 100% honest. We were celebrating both. On such a check.
Maria, can you comment on the judgment that was made on the weekend from Timotheus Omtai? I don't know which one he's talking about.
There's only one judgment that was made over the weekend.
Oh, about the former fisheries minister. Yeah. It was botched.
You have to be bawling for them to open like the High Court for you on a
I did
Sunday.
ask about that because I thought it was strange that there was Sunday session, so to say, in the courtroom. I was informed by lawyers, it's actually not that uncommon.
Yeah.
It's just usually, it's not covered because it's usually not really this type
It's
of
not an
prominent, it's not an SR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for us, because we're like, opa sondag, preferential treatment, it's not actually, it's within the act. They can open up the courts on a Sunday on an urgent matter.
Yeah,
It does happen.
I've seen it before, just not here in Namibia. So I guess that's why all of us are
I know.
pooply does. Like, what?
Yeah. But let me just,
But still, you gotta
just
have-
calm down. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. And the judge has to know you by name. Tenga Care saying morning. Hey, imagine the judge sitting there in blackies and a tank top.
Marag.
Paul Saint, I feel candidates should have some kind of manifesto debates to elaborate on these things. You know, we actually tried to have a presidential debate, not
Us.
not us, but us as Namibians.
Yeah.
Some people didn't show.
Yes, it was the first one of its kind. So
Maria.
the next time we have a presidential elections, I guess maybe it'll be better. But anyway, the way these manifestos are primarily delivered in chaotic places full of people doesn't give a chance for people to ask deeper questions, like the one of the 12 ministries. Okay.
And also the ones that are sorry, I'm gonna throw your candidate under the bus. But Itula runs his
Whose candidate is Tula?
whoever is listening. Whoever, and maybe here in studio, your vote is your secret. It's fine.
No, my vote is not a secret.
Anyway, I was saying he runs his campaign. I was joking about it, but it's actually the truth. I was joking about it, but it's actually true that he runs his election campaign trails like a classroom. But lift your hand if you don't want the easier. Okay, keep quiet. And he just has that. I don't know if it's because he's like an authoritative figure, like obviously a doctor or whatever, but he really, like it feels like you're in a classroom. It's very, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's very disciplined, but it's a rally and it's like, I don't know, it's weird for me.
All right, Alfredo Jack, free healthcare is not even viable. I mean, how would that even be possible? Itula moet ons nie kom dom sien nie. Swart boy is just an angry youth. Klaar. He has a SWAPO member, or he was a SWAPO member for so long. I mean, how is his thinking different from the ruling party now? Wait, let me finish. All I'm saying is think of your stomach when going to vote, Savar.
I never thought I would say this, but I'm going to have to defend Swart Boy on that one because it's not a fair statement, because Swart Boy always swam against the tide, even in SWAP. I mean, he left because he spoke out against his minister, who is Utoni, who was Utoni at the time. And he was asked to apologize, and he stuck to his guns and said, I will do no such thing because I meant every word I said. And that was largely about that the people in the South are being marginalized, and that a lot of the development in terms of land and redistribution is happening mostly for a certain clique.
The North.
And he wasn't wrong when he said it. It wasn't appropriate. It's not a thing you say as a deputy minister, especially to a crowd of people. But he said it, and he stuck by it. And so it's not fair to say like as if he was just like he never swam against the tide. He's been swimming against the tide. And for whatever else you might think of Swart Boy, I think I would like a person like him in Parliament. Just to keep people on their toes. And I actually do find him to be a very intelligent man, interestingly enough.
And maybe just to add to that, I do agree with you, Maria. I think it's an unfair statement because would you then say the same thing about Julius Malema, who's been part of the ANC for a very long time, but then again turned around and he saw certain things within the ANC that he doesn't agree with. And EFF has its own manifesto, its own principles, its own identity at this moment in time. So
he didn't try to do it within the party. He left and started his own party, and he's doing that. And I think for whatever else you might think, I like that. I think that's commendable. I actually do really, really like that.
Yeah.
Are we still talking about Swart Boy?
No, we're done now.
Oh. I wanted to chip in with something there.
No, chip in.
Yeah, and then he told them, Tida, I'll stop. Marwa Molto.
Copy clip.
Ek waren nie met jealous of things nie.
The president I believe the president made it very clear, even in the media. I don't know, the man was very angry. He even forgot his cell phone here. He just walked.
Okay, guys, there are so many comments, but we can't get to them all, man.
No, but come on, man. This is a special day. Give it another 5-6 minutes.
We're not going to be here tomorrow.
We're not going to be here tomorrow.
Okay, Nande, Peno Muyetenga, I agree with you about Swart Boy. Flavor Antonio, why only on 2 ministers is urgent, but to other people not urgent? Right? Are there laws that stated that top cats require urgent court hearings and release? A criminal is just a criminal, either poor or rich, and they should be treated as such. That's from Flavor, yeah. Makwa van Makwa, this election will not be fair anymore since polling officials were informed yesterday not to allow late registered people to cast their votes. Apparently those VRN, I'm assuming VRN stands for voter registration number, that starts with a 2, they will not vote. Not good at all. I don't know.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Marco, send us a link.
Yeah. I think when we say things, let us, because we're trying to have honest and responsible engagement and not just make inflammatory comments.
Yes.
So if you're going to say something, I think just give us some background so that we also understand. If it's something even us as Informante News can follow up, we shall do so. But you need to be very forthright with the information you bring so that we're not just speaking for the sake of saying something.
If you are an election officer, or maybe you spoke to one, then maybe put them in touch with us. Let's get that information firsthand, and we'll take it from there. Eric Adriano Pochter. How about we have a Lani president, guys, or even a Pastor Ian man?
Is it the same?
What is your problem, Neville? You racist. Okay, never mind.
I think there's an RP candidate as well. Feel free to go vote for him.
Can't vote for Henk Mach.
Can vote for Maj.
Go vote for Henk Mach. He's there. It's not a problem.
He's giving his support to Itula, but go vote for him.
Didn't he say he's not running anymore?
His name is on the. His name
I
is already
will
on
go
the
vote
ballot.
for Henk Mach tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ek gaan stem Henk Mach tomorrow. Julle sal my nie vertel nie.
Also, ECN is next to Van Rijn School. Yes, another way to explain
Thank
it.
you.
You see, it had to take a lady to give proper directions.
True, ne?
Like, you're so arrogant if we try to give. Come on, Los, I will find it.
We don't ask for directions. We don't give directions. We just drive until we find the place. Just hope you have enough petrol in the car. Morning, guys. Greetings from Morocco. For me, the lesson here, irrespective of the election, should be that the youth of Namibia need to be more active in political matters of the country. We can't sit back and be spectators anymore. Yes, and we can't just wait until election year to start becoming active. If you're going to hold people accountable, you got to hold their feet to the fire throughout the 5 years between the elections. And of course, maybe you intensify.
From next week, Monday, hold them accountable.
So is this person from Morocco or is it Namibian in Morocco?
I think it's in the
And,
probably.
Chipwata.
Okay, Shipata, okay. So Namibian in Morocco. Yes, very, very correct. But we're seeing this wave and it's so beautiful to see. But the youth is finally so engaged in politics.
But they must stop just being engaged in politics on social media. They must really be engaged.
Hello, did you see the people are walking with Itula in the rain? Where were you? Where was you?
No.
Yeah, they lost the
I was at the
The
back.
mensen circle to gaan, the Sneeman circle.
I was at the back.
People were in front of the No, it's really not a fair statement to say, oh, we're just keyboard warriors. Because we're seeing it. They follow him. They're in court.
Yes, his rally was like behind my house yesterday,
Yeah.
basically. And
It's
that is
ju-
Harian
it's like
Kasta
yellow,
rondom.
but keyboard warriors.
I
no.
just want to see that this support reflects in the election results. That's all.
And it will.
Okay.
Yeah, and it will.
Let's see.
Patrick Prince Kapembe, guys.
Wait a minute. You and me, we have a little
Hela.
bet.
Chill.
No, I'm saying it. We will see it.
No.
He'll definitely take votes away from Mr. HG. He really will.
Yeah.
Not maybe not to win, but yeah.
But we have was another fight, you and me.
Yeah,
$1,000 bet that we have.
No, you didn't want to bet.
We betted.
No. I wanted you said you were not willing
Hey,
to part
take
with
it outside.
$1,000.
Wait, man.
There's a
Wait,
bet.
never.
There's a bet.
Guys, Itula's manifesto really caught my attention. He made so much sense than others, especially on land, health, and education. I wish I could win tomorrow, or he could win tomorrow.
He won't.
Oh, not I could win.
It's a democratic country. Anything can happen.
From Neville's point
He
of
won't.
view, he will not.
No. I think,
You see,
to be honest, the way I see it,
If you keep saying there's no way anybody else can
No,
win,
I'm just-
that
then
reinforces
why we're going to the polls?
Yeah, that reinforces that belief that people have that the elections are cooked. So stop saying that.
No,
Please stop it.
I think when the CNN analysts, when they sit on TV and they before an election and they
This is not CNN and this is not America.
I'm just saying, okay.
I just wanted to say that I got in trouble when I made a similar comment. So I can still.
Yes, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire also. I'm accountability.
No,
here.
your fear vang me, bro.
Yeah, ek sê maar net. I think he's going to do it. He's going to have a good showing in the elections, Itula. But I personally don't think he's going to win. That's my honest opinion. He's gonna give a good showing.
You and your opinion
like you do
can
say,
get out of here.
like you just said 2-3 minutes ago, he's definitely going to be taking some votes away. Yes, I do believe that, but I don't believe that he's going to win. That's just how I see it.
All right. Well,
Koop julle die election of it.
Hey, lost for Jella. This is just my
is
independent.
that why you were
fair-
celebrating the EVMs? Right?
No, I wasn't celebrating the EVMs or whatever. I personally just think, guys, that there's a strong support from the SWAPO party towards the current president. And if the current president is being supported, there's no way. Yes, Itula will be taking some votes away. Yes, the independent candidate will be taking some votes away. Yes, the other opposition parties might be taking some votes away. But in my humble opinion, SWAPO will win this election, and President Hage will retain the presidency.
Before we close off, wat gaan er met jou brallas?
Nee, ek weet.
Wat is die deel van Team SWAPO?
I see this on social media. Ek weet nie vir wie krap. Hy
Yo.
krap.
No, sorry, you know they were called the Masalads at the
Yes,
last
I remember.
Congress
I remember.
because they were supporting, the
Team SWAPO.
Team
Yes,
SWAPO,
yes.
and they fell out of
Favor.
but he's here, very, very, very supportive of
The president.
The president.
Yes.
But it's so funny because he's using the same rhetoric that was used against them. You know, he's calling the Itula supporters like opportunistic, tribalist, and I'm like, whoa. But that's what
That
you
was-
guys
that
were
was you
called.
guys, yeah.
That was you guys at the last Congress. So it's just funny how the oppressed can become the oppressor. I don't know. It's what a time to be alive.
So it's
that's
like,
all I'm saying.
hey, Itula, that's our move. Don't like go find your own move to make. Okay, guys.
I'm just saying,
Nee, kom ons check.
in light of democracy, I think it was good that we had a platform for an independent candidate to be part of this election, and it has opened doors for people to see another, a different political scenario in our country.
Hy doof word toegemaak na hierdie election. There will be no more independent candidates from Swapo moving forward. No say. After elections, they're going back to this policy.
The constitution.
Scratch the constitution. Let's
So Swapo
amend.
constitution,
Amend. So that's what I'm saying. Itula, if he doesn't win this time, there won't be
Yeah.
another opportunity for him.
Yeah.
Unless he forms his own
Oh yeah,
party.
no, it's now or never.
And
For him, it's now or never.
unfortunately for the presidency, there's no, like I say, there's no silver medal when it comes to the presidential election.
You're either president or you're not.
You either president or you're not. Because the thing is, for the parliamentary votes,
Prime Minister.
there's gold, there's
Yeah.
silver, there's bronze,
yeah.
there's houtlepel, there's
Olympics.
what.
Come on, hold up.
Yeah, but if Itula don't win, okay, it does not mean, okay, he'll be now the vice president or the second in command of the vice president's vice. As you eight is, Jay's 8. It's like going, to the casino with $50. And you know what? This is your last $50. If I throw in this money now, it either means I will win $1,000 and I will be able to pay for my rent, or I will have to walk from this hotel back to Katatura. That's the position this guy is in at the moment because...
And walking, he can walk.
Anyway, Neville, you're almost going to the 3rd floor. This is a message for you.
And walk, he can walk.
Okay, it's for all of us, but I'm passing it on to you, want jy gaan nou 3de vloer toe.
Yeah.
Sê tog vir die Lannies hulle moet môre gaan stem.
Exactly.
Dis nie 'n vakansiedag vir Brian Jägermeister nie. That's from Elton Black. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of the day. And please do go vote tomorrow. We're going to be back on Thursday. You can pick apart. Hopefully the results will start coming in by
No,
then.
they will.
Thanks.
Results should be in the same day.
Sharp.
The Morning Mix.
Sayang,